Hey there. I know we're live. I know I'm having to use my avatar today, but that's okay. I left my home late to come to my son's house. Yes, I'm at Ryan's house, and we are getting ready to do something very exciting tomorrow. We are going to pick up his new baby dog. Her name is Minnie, and she is so freaking cute. She's a little hairy, hairless Chinese crested. So I'm so excited for him. I really am. But and I realize other people are on live right now that y'all like to listen to. I don't care. This is kind of listen whenever you can, you know how it goes. But anyway, one of the things I want to talk about, I found it kind of interesting, is notorious serial killers and why. What happened to them? What made them? There's a little unknown spoke. It's called the five switches that create a killer. So that's what we're going to kind of discuss tonight, and the notorious serial killers that this applies to. So that's what we're going to kind of talk about. So I'm going to check this music right quick to make sure it's not too loud before we get going. So y'all just bear with me because it's always an issue. And my friends are coming in, oh no, it's too loud, we can't hear you. And I'm like, oh no, I'm embarrassed. Anyway, let's see if is it playing? Oh, there it is. All right. Now, I might have to turn it just a little bit because I don't want to get any kind of a strike issue that is always so bad. I think I can hear it now. Anyway. Here we go. Hey, Sprinkled Donut, my friend. How are you, girl? Okay, so when my son gets home, so my son is at the UT game. When he gets home, we're going to get with his friends that actually created World Waves, which is his social media platform that he and a few friends have created together. And they're going to help me animate our logo and all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. So good to see you. I know you're excited too. I really, really, really am. I know I need to talk about that at some time, but I kind of wanted to get our logo ready and some of those other things ready. And then we can put it out there and say, guess what? We're going to make a commercial together. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited. So I put the link out. If you want to jump on with me, you're more than welcome. Whoever wants to come up live, you're more than welcome to come and talk to. I'm so easy about all of this. I really, really am. I'm waiting on my other little friend. Oh my gosh. Magic Star. She changed her name to Magic Star now. Thank you so much, Sprinkle Donut. I'm so excited. My husband's like, I can't believe you actually took my advice. I'm like, what? Why would you say that? Because he's the one that said, why don't y'all do this? So I know, because I really never listened to him. But anyway. So, what I was saying, if you didn't catch it, was tonight we're just going to talk about the five switches that create a killer. It's just some information that I came across and thought, that'd be fun to kind of share a little bit. So anyway, so I guess I'm going to, and I also today taught myself, can't believe it, how to get on here and do split the screen and then share the screen from the same laptop, and it actually works. Ta-da! Yeah, sometimes they do come up with good ideas. You're right about that. Yeah, this time he did good. He did very well. But what was surprising for me is how easy it was about, well, I need this, this, and this. He's like, okay, go ahead. I was like, woohoo! I guess because it's his idea, then it's okay to fund all that. It's so funny, just too funny. So I'm using my avatar because, I didn't put on makeup or anything. I'm like, I didn't even fix my hair. I just did some work around the house, got in the car, and came on down to College Station so I could, help my baby go get his dog tomorrow. He's so excited. I'm so excited. This baby, I'm going to film when we go to pick the dog up tomorrow. I'm going to film the whole thing. So I will, Sprinkle. I will. I'm just so happy with the way it's turning out so far. I really, really am. And as soon as I can get this thing animated, I'm going to send it to you because I need you to approve it too. We're not going to just jump out here. It's all everything I want to do. It's your channel too, right? So I'm actually going to take my Little Red Zero Speaks and just turn that into the Lil Red and Sprinkled experience. So that channels will be called that. So it's both of our channels. I'm going to give you access to the channel itself, so you can go in and do whatever you want to do as well. Because what if one day you want to come on and I can't? You can just still come on by yourself. It's fine. Do whatever you got to do. So I think that'll be fun. It's lots of fun that way. But anyway, so I was just kind of thumbing through about what could I talk about? Because I wanted to come live today. I know I want to just test out this time of night and see what it's like, and I know there's a lot of competition on at this time of night, but that's okay too. I don't really care about that. But, so So that's what I'm doing tonight. And I thought the best subject would be how people turn into serial killers. What the hell happens in a person's life that all of a sudden they just snap like that? It's always been talked about as either trauma or they're born with some mental illness. But I think there's other reasons. I think there's other things that happen. It can't be just those two things, right? There has to be something else that's happening to people that causes that. Oh, thank you. I will. Don't. It'll be fun. Listen, I just jumped on Sprinkle. I just jumped on and started winging it because I didn't really have help either. I just watched a few people for a couple of years and thought, well, I think I can do this. But the thing I did not realize when I first started out was what it actually cost. Now, listen, and it's okay because it was a great learning experience. These people don't just jump on here with nothing. I mean, you got to have a streaming service. I had no idea. Because I never read anything about how to do it. I just thought, oh hell, how hard can it be? It's harder than it's a lot harder than you think. But ours will be successful because we have each other. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, you know what else I want to talk about? Now, I caught this today and it made me so mad. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if y'all know who the Whitakers are or not. All right. Let me try to come. Oh, yeah. Come on up. It's right. Let me see. Can you still see it? Let me put it over here for you. Let me get it right here. It is right here. Show. Oh, show. Right here. Let me see if I can. Do I need to, let me see if I can get it for you. Here we go. Copy. Okay, I'm going to put it up. Here you go. You go sprinkle, paste, and go. So what you do is you come there, and then I just say, yes, come on up. There you go, sprinkle. There. Okay. Did you work today? Oh, no, you didn't work today, did you? I forgot. All right. There we go. And it'll show that there's somebody in the backstage, and then you let them in. So that's kind of how that works. All right. And you can do it from your phone, which is the nice thing. So that's nice too. But I was going back to what I was talking about. Now, I'm going to talk to you about something else, something else. And this situation really does irritate me. And I know there's other creators out here who are also upset about this. And it is the situation with the Whitakers. Now, as y'all know, the Whitakers is this highly inbred family that is from is it Virginia? Let me pull this back up. They live in the Appalachians, right? And so they've always lived in the same house. They've always lived together, this poor little family. There's a lot of controversy about these people. Oh, there you are. Okay, let me let you in. Device not connected. Oh, connect. Come on, connect. Okay, why is it not connecting? Nope. Come on up. Why is it not letting you come up? Let me see if there's something over here. No. All right, it's a good thing we're doing this because I got to figure out why is that link not letting you come up. Go out and come back in. Do that, Sprinkle. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. Back.
Hold on. Let's see. I've never done this before, so I'm totally lost.
It's okay.
Okay, I want to...
You want to turn down your sound in the background.
I did that.
Okay.
Okay, I want to make sure my camera's off because I've been cleaning all day.
Right.
So let me allow them.
Yes. What I see is just like a circle. Oh, why are you not there? Oh, come on. Whoop. There you go. Oh, now I got to fix that. Oh, come on. Where's that little hand? It's okay. We'll work through it. Whatever it is, it's fine. Now you're the center stage. Okay. Let's see. Exit solo. Yeah, exit solo. There you go. Okay, now we're both there. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Okay. Let's see. Microphone. No. Looks like that's all good. So all you have to do is speak into your speaker of your phone. Okay. Well, let me pull the Whitakers up because I want to talk about that while we get you together over here. Show more. All right. So I can see you, but I can't hear you. Let me see if it's something to do over here. Let's see. It says, no. It shows that you have sound. Turn it back. There you go. Whoop, here we go. There we go. I think I fixed it. Let's see. Okay, now can you say something? Uh-oh. Okay, you might have to go back and come back in because I did have you. Shoot. All right, you're there, but I can't hear you. It's okay. All right. Let me see if I can fix. Maybe if I take this off, it'll stop doing. Okay, look there. Now can you talk? Because I've changed the mic settings, so maybe it'll be louder for you, and I still don't hear you. For some reason, I don't even hear my damn self. That's crazy. What happened here? Let me see. Let me go. All right. Let me make. Oh, well, it shows that you can hear me. Edit mic settings. Okay. Mic volume. Right there it is. I think we're both there. Well, I can see myself, but I can't hear myself, which is so strange. Is it recording? What is this right over here? Recording. Now there's some little thing over here that says recording. I don't know what that is, but let me look at. Let's see. Recording in progress. Yes. All right. There we go. Now we should both be on. All right. Now, I still can't hear you. Just listen. I'm going to kick you out, and then you come back on. Okay? Let's do that. We'll just remove. All right, and then I'm gonna add back in just a minute. Right? Okay, hang on. We'll get through this. It's okay. Now, I can't hear you, but it's okay. So I'm gonna talk, and then whenever you come back up, just say hello. Let's just start over. We'll just start over. It's okay because it's not gonna bother anybody. Hang in. I'm okay. All right, that's okay. We can do that. And then I can just send. You want me to send the new link, or you just want to stay in chat? Or let me turn off your. Oh, there you go. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to read about We're going to talk about the Whitakers for a second because this is all over the internet right now. There is a lot of controversy. The Whitakers have been taken by the state. Where they live. The state now has them, which is horrible. And I need to make sure. Can you hear me? Hey, Sprinkle, can you hear me when I'm talking? Because I don't. Oh, yeah, it's working. I see it. Okay. Anyway, so the state has now taken over because they were living in a home that should have been condemned, right? But there's this West Virginia family that's just known for their complex history of inbreeding. It's a terrible result. The family lives in the small village of Odd. Okay, it's 75 miles from Charleston. Now they have always lived together, always, and now all of a sudden somebody stepped in. And the state has split them up. So let's read about why they did that. This is not what I plan on talking about, but because I'm upset about what has happened out there to this family and disgusted by it, because they are the next grift that's happening. All of a sudden, other people have jumped into their lives and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. So they're starting GoFundMe's and all this. And I'm like, here's the next grift, this poor family. Somebody within this family needs to step in and do a power of attorney to take care of this family because they're being abused and abused and abused. Every time somebody can grift off of them, they are. It's all over YouTube. It's all over TikTok, and it is disgusting. It just makes me so mad. So let me see if I can find something on why this happened to them. So why did the state? Let me look real quick. Take the Whitakers. It's very sad. Like Timmy has never lived without his mother, ever. So now he is separated from his mother. Okay? And it's just terrible. The state has taken Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray. Let me read about this right quick. I am just so saddened by it. The stream isn't playing for me. Okay, let me do this. Let's do this. I'm going to give you a new, let me redo this part over here. Just generate the stream thing. Okay. The user can stream this on, okay. Copy. Okay. Instructions for guests. Let's do this. Cancel. Whoops. I don't want to do that. If I cancel, then we're all going to be kicked off. Okay, I'm going to paste that there. Because I had you here, and then for some reason I was getting that bad echo. And then when we tried to stop that is when it kicked you out. So I'll just let you come back in. It's fine. We need to work through this anyway, so it's a perfect day to do it. It really is. So like I was saying, the state has taken Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray away. The outreach and content creation campaign that Eric and Patrick launched to build the Whitakers a house has ended in disaster. Absolutely. Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray were taken away by the state in an ambulance today from their filthy living conditions, and the two partners in the most recent initiative to help the Whitakers are now openly making accusations against each other in videos. And I'm also going to warn everybody right now, if you intend on using any of their content, don't. They will strike you for it. All right? Don't do it. Go out and find your own. Even if you're trying to help, don't do it. Right? I have a really soft heart for the Whitakers. I really do, because I've watched all these things. Okay, now I'm going to add you to the stage. Right? Here we go. There you go. All right, you're added. Well, where are you? It says added to the stage. Okay, right there. All right. Are you there? Can you hear me? It said added to the stage. Why didn't the box connect? Oh, Lord. What the hell is going on here? I am so glad we're doing this right now. I really am. It's because nobody else is over here having to watch us do this, and it's okay. Let me see what this does. Oh, it shows you there. Okay, it shows you there. All right. But let's see. There you are. Okay, there you are. All right. And then let me see. No, I'm not going to do a new layout, but let me see. I don't want to manage any layouts. I just want to leave us like we are, because we're both here. We should both be able to talk. Let me see if this does anything with your microphone. Edit mic settings. Okay, there's that. All right, there's that. You should be able to talk. Are you on your phone? Because if you're on your phone, you can just start talking on your speaker, But if you've turned your phone all the way down, that might be the problem. Turn it back, turn your sound back on, and then just make sure that YouTube is not on. That's all you have to do. Yeah. Hey, Magic Star, how you, girl? I'm so glad you made it. Okay, so Magic, Sprinkled Donut and I are trying to get her up on our live so she can come in and listen and talk, because I haven't really announced it yet, but Sprinkled Donut and I are going to start a new show, and it's called the Lil Red and Sprinkled Experience, and it's going to be live. Let's see what this is. Private chat. Oh, there you are. It's showing me backstage. Oh, well, let me try to get you back on then. Hang on a minute. Let's see how to get you up here. Okay. Settings. Whoops. Okay, I can hear you. Add. There you go. You should be there, right? It shows you there. Okay. So, can you talk now? Anyway, yeah, Sprinkled in Red. Yeah, Sprinkled Donut. Now it's called It's the Red and Sprinkled Experience. And we're gonna have people call in and ask questions. They can ask any question they want about whatever they want, and then we're going to talk about it and try to answer it. So I think it'll be kind of fun. It can be about whatever you want it to be about. I know I can't hear yet either. We're not sure what the problem is. It's some kind of something with it. I'm trying to set a mic setting to fix it, but it's kind of like, let me see if that takes, oh, now try it. Try it now. Sprinkle, say something. See if that works. I just removed something, so maybe that'll work right now. Oop, there she is. I think she took off. Anyway, I don't know why it's not letting her on, but we got to work through it. But anyway, the one thing I was talking about also was, yeah, thank you so much. Hey, Mom, good to see you, girl. I'm so glad you came on. Thank you. I was just talking to Magic and to Sprinkled Donut about our. Oh, you know what, Mom, and you can help me. Okay, so whenever Sprinkled Donut comes on and she gets to the backstage, and I click add to the stage, we can't hear her. Can you tell me why? I know because I just don't know how to help her with that. I'm so inexperienced. I don't know how to help her get back up here now. So anyway. So let me tell her that you're going to help us. So, oh, there she is. Now I'm going to add her to the stage, and it should work, right? Add to stage.
Okay.
There you go. Let me pick up my. Hang on. I can hear you. Can you hear her?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Oh, yay!
Okay.
We got it.
Yay! It's working. I think I had something turned off by mistake.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. So there she is. Yes. So yeah, I was talking about. We got sidetracked, but I was kind of talking about the Whitaker situation. So and how the state took them away, and it makes me sick, girl. It makes me sick. So now let me tell you what's happening to these two. We got it. Thank you so much, momming it up. Have you met Sprinkled Donut? she's in a lot of our chats, and she's really her and I have a lot in common. She's also lost a child, bless her heart. But we decided we would just do the live experience together. So, but right
Hi,
now we're
everyone.
Whitakers. Yes, thank you. If you want to say something, just sprinkle down. Just say shut up. Just shut
Oh,
up, Lord,
okay.
and I'll
I'm
let
not
you
going to tell you to shut up.
talk. You sure can. So these people go over there and they start sticking their nose in these poor people's business, and now the family split up. Timmy has never been away from his mother ever.
Well, that's
Wayne
it.
is his
They're
mother.
so used. They are all they know. They don't know
That's right.
anything else. They have
You're
totally
right.
disrupted their entire lives. Their whole lives are each other.
That's right. And for what? What was the reason for this? And then they started out with this. Oh, well, we're going to help them.
Well,
No.
where have you been all these years? Why haven't you been helping them before? Why now?
Right. That's what I want to know. All you did was go in there, cause a bunch of drama, and then put it all out on YouTube and TikTok and everywhere else to grift off of these poor people.
Yeah, it's
I
just
mean,
it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. They need a true advocate, and they don't have a true advocate. They have advocates that want clicks and views, and that's all they have.
that's right. They put up a GoFundMe, of course, And what's the first thing that happened with that? Oh, now you have everybody and their brother claiming they're going to use the money for this, that, or the other. The problem is you can't even build on where this house is currently. They were going to build this house, right? That land is in somebody else's name that is in the family, but it's in probate. It's from what I understand. I think it's in probate or something, and so there's no clear title to it, so they can't build on it. Nobody did their homework before they went out there and started running their mouth to get money.
Yeah, it's a bad situation. Somebody needs to step in.
Yeah. I'm almost glad the state has them because then nobody else can make money off of them. You know what I mean? Mm,
I think it
sad.
kicked me out. Can you still hear me?
And I can hear you. We can
Oh,
hear you.
okay.
Y'all can
Because
all hear. Yeah.
it's telling me to set up my studio again for some reason.
Oh, but we can all hear you. You're fine.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
can't.
There is
Is there
no
a way for me to
accountability.
see? Is there chat? Is there a way to see chat?
Okay. I can see chat on. You can turn if you turn on your YouTube. Can you turn on your TV? Or are you in the car?
Oh no, I'm at home.
Okay. Turn on your TV, but turn the sound all the way down. You can see chat and everything
Oh,
else
okay.
because we're live. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of
Got
fun.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah,
So
this is my
thank
very
you.
first time, so I'm like really, really, really green. Really green. I have no clue what I'm
Okay.
doing.
We will work it through. Yes,
And I'm
Sprinkle Down is very nervous, just like I was.
well,
Listen,
I'm too
I
old
need
to
to.
get embarrassed at this point. Embarrassment. At this age,
Yeah,
there's no point in being
yeah.
embarrassed.
No,
I just
but
don't know what to do, but I'll figure it out.
okay. We'll get you there. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just fine. So let me see if I can come down. I don't even have me turned on the TV. Let me go see over here. See if I can even fix this. I don't know. I'm always just winging it. So wait a minute. That's not me. Anyway, I just wish that. And I really kind of wish that YouTube and TikTok would take this crap off and stop it because it's not helping it, with these poor people because it's just every day a new something where somebody's over there trying to make damn money off of them.
Yeah.
It's
It's
bad.
there just should be some guidelines when it comes to certain things. Certain things like
Right.
this. There should be some guidelines that it's not allowed.
I heard a phone call today where somebody called Lorraine and she was like, well, who is this? And she goes, remember I talked to you yesterday? I met you yesterday and I'm trying to get the $5,000 for this attorney, remember? She don't even know these people. What in the hell? What,
Well,
who's this?
wonder where Mark is in all this. You think Mark could be doing
Yeah,
something to help them? Where's
you're
he?
right. I don't know. I know that I learned about the Whitakers from Mark. And
Right.
now those people are over there saying that, well, Mark was just grifted off of them too, but I don't think he was.
No, Mark
You know,
Mark cared about. I mean, I feel like Mark cared about them.
from what I saw, I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
Momming it up has it best. Advocating and encouraging is one thing, but creating intentional freak shows is just a disgrace. It absolutely is, and it is confusing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all too. Let me tell you what happened. I I don't know if y'all were listening when I said this, but I wanted to help, and so I put out a video and used a little bit of that content. What do you think the first thing that happened is? Yeah, that person put a strike on me. That's right. That's why
Wow.
because I'm like, I care about these people. I really wish people would just leave them alone.
Yeah.
Why did you have to split their family up like that? So of
Yeah.
course that's a
I
problem
I
now.
don't understand. There's just no, I mean, and they haven't said as to why either. That for any reason that actually truly makes sense.
No, no, they haven't. I mean, look at poor Betty. Betty is crushed with this outcome, and Lorraine, Timmy, and Ray, the initial trauma, just they don't understand what's happening. I mean,
No,
they've never been
especially
apart
Ray.
from these people.
Especially Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. It's heartbreaking.
No, I'm pretty sure that when these two started in on this, that they were thinking this wasn't going to end this way. But here's the thing: had they done a little bit of homework, they may have realized it's going to end this way because they opened the door and brought it to the attention of everybody. And of course, the state has to step in. The state could not leave them in the condition they were in.
No,
So I
no.
understand that.
Yeah, because once an investigation's open, it has to be investigated. It has to be.
You're right. You're right.
And then if they
So,
go and they do nothing and something happens, then there's so much liability for the state. They're not going to have that. They have to cover themselves. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
you're right. Let me tell you what it says on Reddit. Now, these are not my words. These come from Reddit. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you the person's name on Reddit, but I'm just going to tell you what they wrote today. And it, these two sick, pathetic, fame, greed seeking whores. That's just exactly what it says.
Oh, wow.
Did and caused this crap. All the money donation videos came back to bite them in the butt. I said their own videos that they constantly post will turn around and bite them. Karma. I also said that they will turn on and blame each other. Karma. It was Patrick, the idea and the plan, and it was Eric who put it out to spread out for the money, right? To grab the money. Now, this is from Reddit. Y'all can go look it up yourselves. I'm going to give fair warning, triggering that is not my words. I don't want to be, getting in trouble for it. I'm just telling you what people are writing. There's a lot of people putting a lot of negative things out there because of what's happened now, and I just don't blame them. So anyway, Magic says, I may be way off, but are y'all two talking about them? Yes, we are. Yes, ma'am, Magic Star, we certainly are because of what's happened to them now. Remember, it was quiet for a long time. Nobody ever talked about them anymore after Mark from underground. What was something white underbelly? What's his
Soft
name?
white underbelly.
Yes, soft white underbelly. Maybe I should reach out to him and ask him why he doesn't go save them. Of course, maybe he can't save them now because it's gotten to this point. That might be the reason. But yeah, I just
But at
wanted to
least
touch on
get
that
them
today.
counsel. I would assume Mark's got connections. I would think that he would at least be able to get them counsel or something.
Yes,
Something.
something.
They should have an advocate through the court. Where's their
I would
court
think so
advocate?
too.
There's,
Yeah,
they just because of the mental illness alone is going to entitle them to an advocate. Where is their advocate?
I thought so too. I've not heard anything about that. It's like now it's just a bunch of trauma drama bullcrap. Ugh. I saw a video. Free legal aid? Yeah. I saw a video where somebody, I don't know who it was talking to Timmy, and Timmy said he was going to call 911. And they were acting like they were going to take the phone away from him. I thought to myself, is that how it really is? Is this how they're being treated now by these people? I mean, I don't know. I've just seen bits and pieces thrown on the internet, and it's very sad. It's just heartbreaking, really. So,
Well, and
um,
nowadays you don't, with everything on the internet, AI and all that, you don't know what's real and what's not real anymore.
no, you don't. You really don't.
You don't know. It's impossible to tell what's true, what's not true, what's fake, what's AI, what's this, what's that. It's impossible unless you're sitting there right in front of the situation.
Right. I mean, when I turn on the internet and I want to watch YouTube and I see something that's complete AI, I'll give you an example. There's a channel out there that does AI all the time, and it's always about Jack and Lily, but every story is a lie. It is not true. I have reported it many times because they're reporting that they were found deceased. They were found this. They've never been found at all. It's every day some kind of AI generated garbage, and I just can't stand that. I just turn it. I got to the point I just don't even. If I realize it's AI, I just turn it off.
Oh,
I'm not
I do
watching it.
too.
Yeah,
I do too.
yeah.
Because you know it's all going to be misinformation, all of it.
It sure is. And that's the worst thing you can do to these poor little missing children and their family is misinformation. Look at the crazy stories that's going on with, Sebastian Rogers. Look at that. My God. It's so outrageous, all of it. None of
Well,
that's helped.
they need to focus their attention on the true leads, and all of this other stuff creates so many leads that aren't true leads, that they're going in so many directions that it's so easy to for the true leads to get pushed down for some of this misinformation that's coming out. I mean, there's
Mhm.
got to be a way to change all of that. I mean, there has to be, because these, we don't ever know the number of leads these cases get, but it's in the thousands and thousands and
Right.
thousands and thousands, and they have to investigate every single one of them.
You're right. I one thing else that happens over here is and this is something that we talk about all the time, but people act like they don't know it. Law enforcement does not have to tell us one thing. They don't owe us anything. And I am real sure, based on everything we've seen, that they have a lot more information than old crazy at night or dog or any of these people. They have a lot more information, and I'm sure they don't even give this information to the parents. They just don't, because
Of
it will
course not.
interrupt their investigation.
I mean,
They're not going to
that came out
clear.
so obviously with
Right.
Idaho 4, how much
Mm-hmm.
information they
Mm-hmm.
did not get.
And I don't think they should either. I mean, you can't give people your whole investigation, because if you do, they're going to go leak it everywhere. Look what's happened, right?
Of course.
How they, yeah.
Of
Mom, it
course.
says,
For
yeah, it takes
250
hours.
bucks, they're going to say something that could screw up the case.
Oh, exactly. You're right. She goes, it takes hours of time for investigation to do with so many phone calls and emails, etc. It is awful. And I know this is not what my life is about, but we're kind of getting over here. We're going to get sidetracked, but that's okay. I don't care. I'm easy about all of it. I'm just so tired of. I'm just so tired. I'm just tired of seeing all of this. Just give the facts only. If you did not hear from Ellie, then it is not a fact, right? You
Exactly.
got all these people over there with making it's this, it's that, and I mean, five, six, all day long, just regurgitating the same thing over and over, and it does nothing.
I mean,
It,
I totally cut you off. I'm sorry. The
it's okay.
pers-
No, go ahead.
People, I mean, the internet is good. Yes, because there has been cases where the people, us, have found leads that have YouTubers, whatever, they have found leads that have led to the arrest, like in Gabby Petito, them seeing their
Right.
van on the side of the road. But the percentage
Are you there, Sprinkle? Did I lose
that
you?
law enforcement actually
Okay.
gets,
Uh huh.
it's we're not going to solve all these cases. It doesn't matter how much you are into
Right.
true crime. It doesn't matter how much you love it, how much hours you spend on the internet every day. We're not going to solve the majority of these cases. Law enforcement is going to solve the majority of these cases.
You're
We
right
need
about
to
that.
let them do their job.
Amen. You know, look at the latest one, Devlin Tate. Now that's a horrifying story too. And I'll let Panda Bear's mom come up and talk about that the other day, because I really did not know much about it. But here we go. It's the same thing happening with him. I mean, every one of these cases, it becomes a big. All of a sudden, it's there, and then it just can't stop. It's just every day, every day. And the thing is, none of there's no new information. And if there was, we wouldn't know it anyway, because Ellie's not going to tell us.
No, they're
So
not. They're not.
anyway, I mean, well, okay, we'll get back on topic now. I just want to talk about the Whitakers for a minute, because I just am upset about that case, and I'm sad, sad, sad. And yes, somebody needs to talk to Soft White Underbelly about this, and maybe he can help. I don't know, but I hope so. I hope so. But okay, so what I was going to talk about today, my poor co-host over here, Sprinkle, doesn't even know, but it's called the 5 switches that creates a killer. Because we always ask the question, well, what happened? He was a normal person. What happened? I can't understand it. I can't understand it, And then if you go back, there's been so many of them. I mean, let me show you this right quick. I'm gonna add this to the stage, and for fair use, I can only leave it on for a minute. I don't want to get in trouble. I mean, I'm pretty upset about this other deal, but there's nothing I can do about it now. But anyway, hang on a minute. Let me try to add to the stage. And there we are. Okay, so this is Rodney Alacoa. Y'all know who he is, right? He was on the game show, the dating show. Okay, that's one. And he was convicted. He was a
Oh, I
prospective
remember
bachelor, and
this.
he
I
was,
remember
yeah,
this. Yeah.
yeah,
Vaguely,
just a
yes.
normal person. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Anyway, but here's what was funny is the contestant Cheryl Bradshaw declined their date after he acted really creepy face to face. I don't blame her. And then what happened? He killed 9 people in the 70s, right?
Again, we
Look
go
at
back
this.
to what we talked about the other day, women's intuitions, women's
Mhm.
gut feelings.
Go with it. If that's what you think, you go with it. Look at this fella right here. He's Mr. John Wayne Gacy. He's just a beautiful guy, isn't he? No. But anyway, look at him. He was just entertaining children at parades and hospitals as Poco or Patches the clown. He was the clown. What a perfect way to get into a child's head
Mm-hmm.
because you're the clown. You're not
Mm-hmm.
horrific. You're not scary. And what has he done? Look at this 33 young men and teenage boys. 33 of them. What a beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go over here to Dennis Rader. This guy. Look at him. Dennis Rader. He was a family man, right? He killed 10 people in Wichita, Kansas, from 1974 through 1991, and he even taunted the law enforcement. You can't find me. You're not going to find me.
Yeah, he's
All he
BTK.
wanted.
I thought he was BTK.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, he is. Then there's old Ted Bundy. Now, we all know about slick old Ted Bundy, Mr. Charmer, and how he got somebody pregnant when he was in prison. Oh my gosh, how in the hell does that happen? Where were the guards? How did this happen? They said by a Coke machine? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Look at him. He just looks like a normal guy. He was a smart dude.
And
He's in
Ted
law
was
school.
he was highly intelligent too.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, it's a
remember at his
shame.
trial, watching the reruns of his trial, and the judge made the comment that had he not taken the path that he had taken, he would have been an excellent attorney.
I think so too. I really
Yeah.
do. It's
The
a really
judge told
shame.
him
It is a
that.
shame. Look at this
Yeah.
guy. Oh, there's your prom date right there. Peter. Oh, Peter. Now, look at him. He's the Yorkshire Ripper. Now, he's over in England, but that's okay. He's still a notorious serial killer, right? So they spent 2.5 million hours pursuing this guy, right?
Holy moly.
That's a lot of hours.
That's a lot.
Yeah, for 13 murders.
Wow.
And he had 20 life sentences. Okay. Then look at Mr. Berkowitz. We know who he is. Yeah. Oh,
I
son of
look at
Sam
these guys
himself.
and I always think they were somebody's baby. That at one point they were somebody's beautiful little newborn baby. What happened?
That is what the 5 switches that create the killer come. This is where that's going to come into, because if there's something that does happen to them, and all of a sudden, let's talk about Ed Gein for a minute. Now, I'm going to take this off for fair use after we move it, right? So we'll talk about Ed Gein for a minute. Now, there's right now on Netflix, it's a new documentary, and
I tried to watch it. I couldn't. I watched it for like 30 minutes and I could not get into it. I don't know what it was about it.
Right.
But I just couldn't. It just didn't hold my attention.
Look, Maddie Star says, I know it's silly, but the attractive ones are even more scary to me. Not only might someone let their guard down, they might be more subject to interacting with these people because they're nice looking, right? Because they're attractive.
Well, that's how Ted got all his
safe.
victims, with his
You're right,
fake
it sure
broken
is.
arm and fake broken leg and.
Well, y'all know who the Ward Case Studies is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So she's working on a documentary and she's put out the trailer, and I'm going to advertise it here on my channel because Jen Lou and our friends, we know how I got into even going on YouTube was through Jen Lou, Alex Erickson, and MJ, because I was like, I always watched them. They had so much fun interacting. I thought, God, that's a fun way to talk to your friends and go into chat because they're in your chat.
Right.
Anyway, I'm going to drop her trailer about that for you guys because she's going to do so good. She really does a good job, and I love watching what she does. I just can't watch her all the time. Okay, so I think it's this one right here. Okay, show, right there. I don't think I can, I'm going to put a mark on it. There we go. Now that is to her live. I might have to go grab it and drop it again because I don't think I can copy it from right here. Let me see if I can. Can I move
Yeah,
it
it
down?
will
No, well,
not
and
let
then
me pull up chat on my TV. I don't know why.
yeah. Okay. Oh, go back over to comments. Okay, but anyway, we'll make sure y'all get her information to go watch it because I know it's going to be good. She's worked on this a long time. She does really good on documentaries and trials. That's her kind of her specialty. She goes, I just started watching that and I'm so struggling to follow it. It is a slow start, Magic. I'll tell you, but once it there was a couple of times I was kind of questioning it, but then I realized they're going back to show how he met this person in the first place and what their original interactions were. And then he sees them again, and then things begin to happen. So
Yeah,
let's.
maybe I just didn't watch it long enough. I'm trying to think how far I
You
got. I got to
you
where,
didn't,
yeah, I don't want to ruin it, so I'm not going to say how far I got, but
right?
yeah,
I
I
mean,
want to say about 30 minutes in, and I was just like, no, I can't.
what I had to do was after the whole family went to bed with me and my little baby dogs, we just sat in the living room because I don't go to bed at night until they went out a final time and then I can put down the little dog door and all that because I don't want. Okay, so our backyard is extremely scary. There's critters that live back there, and in the night you can hear the coyotes screaming and all that. So I don't want them going outside when I'm not awake, so I have to
Right.
shut the dog door, right? It's a whole thing. Anyway, so I stayed up late, and that's how I started watching it. And then I went to bed at like 3 o'clock this morning because I couldn't quit watching it when I got to a certain
Mm.
point. So I'll just say
Yeah,
that,
I didn't
okay?
realize it was 8 episodes. I realized that
Hmm.
today because I was going to start rewatching it. I was like, oh, it's a long one.
Well, I mean, it takes a long time to tell his whole story because there's so much of it. You know, I
Well,
mean,
he was definitely he definitely was mentally ill. I mean, there's
oh
no
God,
question.
yeah,
No question.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, he was
that's
diagnosed.
100%. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's
that's
schizophrenia.
not that murder's understandable, but when I say it's understandable, you know what I'm saying. In that
Right.
circumstance, yes. Now,
Yes.
the ones who say they're mentally ill, like, you know, Letitia, yeah, it's a
Lucretia.
different story. Yeah. Like Grisha, Kalantos. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
totally different story.
Yeah. Well, she got the DSM-5 and she re-looked up everything she could and then she tried to act it out. The
Of
thing
course she
is,
did.
they know malingering. They know malingering when they see it because they've seen it so many times. So, yeah, she's
Well,
made
she's
herself.
always the smartest one in the room, according to her. So,
You're right. You know why? She's a sociopath.
yep.
Ding, ding. Yeah. Of course, it's not called that anymore. Now it's called something disorder. But anyway, so I'm going to read to y'all how it starts with the 5 switches that creates a killer. Because it's kind of when I came across this, I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. So it starts going through it with. It starts out with like a little story. It goes, this guy was the neighbor who shoveled your driveway. He coached your kid's baseball team, and he was the kind of person you trust with your life. But one week, just 5 days after a tiny fender bender, he did something so insane, so horrible, that it would change lives forever. He left 2 people in a ditch and ended up in a police station with blood on his hands. So then you go, what on earth happened in those 5 days? How does a good guy, a ASPD, yeah, a pillar of society, just completely snap? Well, here we go. We're going to break down the 5 secret switches that can turn literally anyone into a monster. Could be you, me, anybody. It just pushes them over the edge. And you have to stay until the end because this is where it's going to tell you what that last switch is, and you're going to be a little bit shocked. Okay, it's understanding. It's the most important thing you'll hear all year. Okay, I'm not just telling you that. This is what it came up with, and I was like, wow, that's. Let me tell you what I do for just a moment. What I'll do is I'll come up with an idea about what I want to talk about, and then I'll go over to vidIQ, which is this program that I use, and I'll say, I want to write a script about this, and I'll put some information in, one of the things I want to point on, and then it goes out and creates the script. And then I get to go back through it and pick out what I think. We rewrite a couple of times, and then all of a sudden I have a script. And this is where all this comes from, because otherwise I'd be stumbling around all night long because when my attention gets sidetracked and I'm over here talking about something else. So anyway, this is where it's coming from. But anyway, so here's the intro. You hear people say your situation makes you who you are, but that sounds just way too simple. When you see a guy who used to volunteer at the town fairs, he he's staring back at you now in the mugshot. You're going, why? You see his face and you think that could be anyone, and that is the terrifying truth. Reality is that under the absolute worst conditions, the normal wiring that makes us good people can overload, short circuit, and completely burn out. Right? Why is it showing me that? Hang on, let me fix something. Oh, there you are. Okay, good. I thought I lost somebody. So, then it goes, we're not talking about some movie villain who was born evil. No, we're talking about the person standing behind you at the grocery store, the guy you passed on the highway. We're talking about these five switches aren't magic curses. All right. These things are everyday things that can mix together and create a ticking time bomb. Okay. Um, we're gonna use the 5 day spiral of our fictional Coach Allen to show you exactly what happens. We'll watch him go from a local hero to someone you wouldn't recognize, but it isn't just his story. This is the blueprint for how things can go horribly wrong for anyone. We're gonna dive deep into the human brain, not for shock value, but to understand, because if we can understand it, we can stop it. All right, that's what the thinking is. So section one is, and we always talk about this before, is the trauma that would never went away. We talk about this all the time because there's always something that happened in their childhood. They go back, oh, my childhood, my childhood. So here's his situation. Growing up, everyone said Alan was a great kid, a leader, super kind. But what they didn't see were the nights his dad came home angry and violent. As a little boy, Alan learned two things that got burned into his brain. The world is a dangerous place, and you are powerless to stop it. That wasn't just a bad memory. It was the foundation for his entire life. Okay. We hear this a lot with people. Now, let's see. You go back and we're going to fast forward 35 years. Alan is 50 years old. He's successful, respected, a great guy. I mean, in a parking lot, a guy bangs into his car and smirks, oh, learn to drive, Grandpa. Blame it on Alan. Okay, now Alan's already messed up a little bit, right? So for Alan, this was like a direct attack. His brain's emergency alarm didn't know it was 2023. It didn't care that it was a stupid parking lot dispute. All it knew was there was a smirk that felt just like his father's sneer right before the worst moments of his childhood. That's right. And I've heard other people talk about things like that. It was all of a sudden I was back in my childhood, right? You hear this. This is what scientists call the state-dependent recall, all right? And it's insanely powerful. When you're stressed enough, your brain doesn't just remember the last bad thing that happened, it replays the worst bad thing that ever happened. That logical part of your brain that's supposed to say, dude, relax, it's just a fender bender, completely shuts down and it literally goes offline. All right. So what happens next is just terrifying. A 9-year-old survival instinct takes over a 50-year-old man's body. Alan isn't reacting to the car accident. He's reacting to a lifetime of buried pain. Old trauma creates deep scars that can be ripped open at any instant. It makes people vulnerable to insane emotional reactions. Most of us think of our old wounds are healed, but they're just hiding, waiting for the right trigger. And for Alan, that smirk was the trigger. Switch one was armed and ready to go. The fuse was lit. Okay, we talk about all these people who've murdered the people, and they always go in and they talk about they go back to their childhood. They were abused as children. They were starved. They were beaten. They were living in the cold. They were living in miserable conditions. Everything that you would not want to do to your children is what happened to them. So, section two, switch to
But
number two.
to piggyback on that, what if you have two siblings that are raised in the same household with the same traumas, with everything the same? How come one it causes that to happen and the other one it doesn't?
That's the question, isn't it? I cannot answer that. I want to think that, is there? I mean, I don't really know the answer to that, but I want to know the answer to
Is
that
it
because you see that
chemical?
too.
Is it chemical? Is it an imbalance? I mean,
I mean,
there's got to be something. If the
there
environment is
has to be, right?
100% the same for both people, and one child becomes a killer and the other one doesn't, there's something that happens.
I mean, is one child burying all this deep down and never thinks about it again, but the other child is thinking about it every day? I don't know.
That's
But
a good point.
schizophrenia has something to do with a lot of these people. Ed Gein, he was schizophrenic, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's cruel people, there's traumatic people. I mean, let's read number two and see what it says. That same week, life started piling on. His company announced layoffs. His daughter's insane college bill showed up. His wife said the dishwasher was making a weird noise. By themselves, those are just little problems, but stacked on top of each other, they felt like a wall closing in on him. So he's having a lot of, emotion. He's having a lot of trauma in his home too, because he's responsible for all the bills over here. How do you tell your child, I can't pay for your college this month? Or I can't pay your college bill this semester. You can't go, right? and they're like, oh, just get a loan. Well, not every child gets a loan. Some people don't qualify, anyway. So these kinds of stressors are like a poison that we can't see. They silently leak into our lives and destroy your ability to cope. We're talking about job problems, money stress, being lonely. These aren't just bad days. They're pressures. They just never stop. They make you feel angry, desperate, and totally trapped. One study tracked 500 adults going through exactly this kind of stress within 18 months. An incredible 12% started having violent thoughts for the first time in their lives. Okay? They weren't criminals, they were just regular people who felt like they had no way out. Okay? So they were having stuck stress. That's what I call stuck stress. All right? They weren't, okay, so then it goes, for Alan, the threat of losing his job and the money problems at home weren't just problems. They were an attack on his identity. He's 50 years old. This is all he's done is work and be a father and take care of his family. Your brain sees these unstoppable pressures as predators hunting you. So it floods your body with the stress chemicals of cortisol, putting you in a 24/7 state of fight to flight, right? At the same time, your serotonin, the chemical that makes you feel good, completely tanks. You get irritable. We call it having a short fuse, but that fuse was lit by the bills, the job stress, and the pressures of modern life. Okay, now Alan, Magic Star says the brain amygdala is responsible for the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. I think it's related to how some people form trauma responses. Oh, there's Elizabeth. Good to see you. Okay, now Elizabeth, now you went to UCLA for psychology, right? The West Side Imbalance is a good one too. I forgot how the West was won. Okay, isn't that right, Elizabeth? I love it when Elizabeth comes into our chat. She's so smart. So, um, so anyway, Alan starts sleeping 2 hours a night. He constantly is anxious. His body and mind are totally exhausted. He has no more energy to deal with anything. Every small problem feels like the end of the world. This isn't just stress, it's a full blown attack on his sanity. With every new pressure, switch two clicked into place, pushing him closer and closer to the edge. All right. Number three, switch three, the addiction to rage. Now, I think this part's pretty interesting, the addiction to rage, because there are people who cannot live without having something to be raging about, okay? It's Wednesday. The trauma is bubbling up. The pressure is insane. Alan is walking firecrackers. A young coworker makes a tiny mistake. Normally no big deal, but Alan explodes. He yells. He humiliates the kid in front of everyone. The office goes silent, and for a split second, Alan feels powerful. He feels relief. So he's had a chance for his stuck stress to come out. He's relieved that stuck stress pressure. Oh, he feels relief, right? This is the terrifying power of the negative reinforcement. His outburst made the bad feelings go away, even for a second, so his brain wants to do it again because he got that feeling from it. Our author, Patrice, from our last book that we were reading, The Memoirs of a Sociopath, she talked about this exact thing right here. Okay, so he wants to do it again because he liked that feeling he got. He felt some relief. So scientists have shown that getting angry can give you a blast of dopamine, the same pleasure chemicals you get from winning. Your brain learns a dangerous lesson. You'll feel powerful, you survive. It's a super addictive reward system. She talked about that too. But it gets crazier. Just making an angry face, curling your lip, raising your chin can make your testosterone levels spike. This literally dulls your empathy and makes it easier to see other people as objects. It's a vicious cycle. Rage gives you a dopamine hit, which makes you want more rage, which boosts your testosterone, which makes you even angrier. They talk about weightlifters who use testosterone injections or whatever, having a lot of rage, being angry all the time. I can see why, By Thursday, Alan is actively looking for a fight. He's replaying the fender bender in his head over and over, but this time he's winning the argument. He's not looking for justice. He's chasing a chemical high, the dopamine. He's learning that aggression, even in his own head, is like a drug that makes the pain go away. Negative emotions like anger and frustration are a massive trigger for aggression. When you feel blocked from your goals, you get angry, and that anger can feel good, like a hit of power or creating a feedback, a loop of it's impossible to escape. Alan is now trapped in this loop. He's not just angry, he's addicted to being angry. He's a ticking time bomb. Switch 3 is locked in. Okay. Switch 4, the biology that breaks the brakes. Let's talk about the brain itself. Alan doesn't do drugs or drink, but a lifetime of playing sports left tiny invisible scars on his brain, specifically on the part that controls impulses and tells you right from wrong. It's the same part of the brain that famous railroad worker Phineas Gage lost. This isn't a massive, obvious injury, but it's a critical. It means the brain's brake pedal is seriously damaged. He can't put a halt to things, it just keeps going. One neurologist, Dorothy Lewis. Dorothy Lewis. Now let's talk about Dorothy Lewis.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, she was in Lucretia's trial. Remember what she said about Lucretia? Now I don't think Dorothy Lewis was correct about Lucretia. I think she just said whatever she needed to say because she's getting paid for the gig, right? And that was a very expensive, bad. It was a bad decision on her defense's part that because it made her look even worse.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So she is a neurologist, but she studied 15 death row inmates and found something shocking. 14 of them had damage to the front part of their brain. It's not a direct cause of violence, but it's a massive vulnerability. It means the safety features in your brain are broken. But it's not just about getting hit in the head. Think about what Alan ate that week. Almost nothing. Coffee for lunch, maybe a candy bar. His brain was literally starving for fuel. And guess what? The first thing your brain turns off when it's running on empty is self-control. The ability to stop and think. You don't need a brain tumor. You just need to be running on empty for your brain to lose its brakes. This biological problem can be subtle. Brain dysfunction from injuries, what happens to you before you were even born, or even chronic alcohol use can destroy your impulse control over time. For Alan, his old head injuries, just combined with his terrible diet that week, created the perfect biological storm. This result is the same. The brain safety switch is off. The little voice that tells most of us to calm down or don't do that is gone. Switch 4 is where your physical brain meets a bad situation. Once it's tripped, the ability to think about consequences is gone. The biological floor has been ripped out, making you're just going to fall no matter what. And there's no stopping to the fall. There's nothing to stop you, right? Number 5, the final story. Nothing left to lose. That's where he was. Friday, the final nail in the coffin. Alan gets an email from HR. We're going to discuss your position on Monday. He doesn't hear discuss. He hears you're getting fired. This isn't just losing a job, it's losing his entire identity. Psychologists call this identity foreclosure. It's when every role you have, provider, husband, respected coworker, gets destroyed all at once. The future, which used to look bright, now looks like a dark tunnel with no way out. He feels completely powerless, just like he did when he was a child and he was getting the crap beat out of him, or he was being, talked to horribly, or he was being ignored, or he's just thrown in his room, or, whatever. He felt that same powerless feeling. It just isn't sadness. It's something way more dangerous. It's hopelessness. Research shows that hopelessness is at a bigger predictor of violence than almost anything else. When somebody believes there's absolutely no way out, no way for things to get better, the rules of society don't apply anymore, okay? The brain with no positive options, it just creates a new dark mission. If it can't matter in a good way, I'll make it matter in a bad way. I'll make them remember me. I'll make them pay attention, all right, okay? So, Alan doesn't wake up wanting to hurt people. He just wants the story of his life to change. He wants to feel like he has some control, some impact, even if it's destructive. Okay, remember, Patrick called that again her struck stress. She would have so much struck stress, she would have to go do something bad. She talked about this a lot. That's when she knew she knew she was a sociopath. She learned early. But anyway, so when people feel powerless or disrespected, like they have no identity, they can snap in the most extreme ways. Now, every single switch is now flipped. The old trauma, the insane pressure, the addiction to rage, the broken brain, and now that feeling that has nothing left to lose. Alan is at the breaking point. His ability to cope is gone. All the safeguards have failed. Switch number 5 snaps. And once the story, what is that story? Nothing left to lose, takes hold, and there's no turning back. So this is what happens. The interlude. The night everything explodes. The police report is chilling. Alan left his house at 2 a.m. He wasn't looking for anyone. He was just driving, trying to escape the crushing weight of his life. Then he saw them, 2 men arguing on the side of this deserted road. One of them laughed. Maybe it was a nervous laugh. Maybe they were just laughing at something else entirely. But to Alan, it was in his shattered mind, they were laughing at him. It was like a final trigger. It connected every single switch into one unstoppable explosion. The sound of his father's sneer, the smirk, the fender bender, the humiliation at work, the failure of his entire life, it all came crashing down in that 1 second. The swing. This horrible sound, it wasn't planned. It was like a catastrophic system, just a failure. A final scream from a man who was pushed beyond his absolute limit. He didn't run. He sat on the curb. The violence was over. The internal storm finally gone. His face was blank, like someone had just committed the act. He was no longer Coach Allen. He was just what was left. He was just broken. So apparently he hit this person. Okay. So if you recognize any piece of yourself in this story, if you have old pain that still hurts, if you have bills you can't pay, if you lie awake, just replaying these arguments over and over, go, do something right now. Just type a 1 in the comments. You're not alone. Let's see how many of us are in that situation. We're not going to do that, but anyway, that's what you would talk about. And it just like this isn't about making excuses for anyone. It's about understanding how we got here. All right. Now this is just. And then it goes into this, because it's written by vidIQ, it goes into this, now hit the subscribe, all the stuff. I'm not going to say that here. Y'all don't need that. We're already friends. We know it anyway. Conclusion. Alan is in prison now. People in his town called him a monster because it's easier to hate a monster than to understand a person. It's comforting to believe that evil people are just different from us. But these switches can flip for anyone. Trauma, pressure, rage, biology, and hopelessness. Any one of these can be a problem, but when they start stacking up, it's a countdown to disaster. The lesson isn't that we're all just bad one day. The real lesson is that the things that protect us, therapy, sleep, good food, real friends, having a purpose, aren't just nice things to have. They're not optional. They are circuit breakers that keep our brains from overloading. It's important. We have to invest in these circuit breakers for ourselves and for everyone around us. We need to build a world where it's okay to ask for help, where stress is taken seriously, where no one feels hopeless. Keep your circuit breakers working, because you never know when a small dent will line up with a lifetime of pressure and push someone or even yourself to the absolute edge. Let's just choose to understand so we can prevent this from happening again. So those things is how these people end up, killing somebody when you would think they weren't capable of killing somebody. So, but here's the thing: if they are addicted to the dopamine, which is what is talked about in Patrick's book and in this study that I was looking at, then you can see why they would kill over and over again, because they're getting some kind of release from this. And I've heard serial killers talk about that. What do you think about that, Sprinkled Donut? Let me get something. I dropped it. Start talking.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. What keeps coming into my head is coping, the ability to cope, coping mechanisms, coping skills.
Mm-hmm.
When
Right.
people that have coping skills, and some people have absolutely no coping skills. They can't handle any kind of anything that's not the normal flat line of their life. If something, creates a bump in the road, whether it be minimal to them, they just freak out. So that's just something that is just, I was thinking the whole time you were talking.
Let me look at something right quick, because that's a good point. Coping skills. The coping skills, healthy coping skills. Let's talk about that for a second. Let's see. Coping skills are the tactics that people use to deal with stressful situations. Managing your stress well can help you feel better physically and psychologically, and impact your ability to perform at your best. But how do you learn coping skills? Momming It Up says some have more restraint than others, I think. You're right about that, too. But you got to wonder why. I mean, well, I guess because they just told us there's something within our brain that might be damaged from head injuries. Let's talk about athletes. Let's talk about athletes for a second. You hear a lot about these athletes that are very famous, very rich, very powerful, but all of a sudden they're beating the crap out of their girlfriends. They're getting kicked off the team. They're ending
Look
up in
at
jail.
Aaron Hernandez. He became a murderer.
Perfect example. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he didn't think twice about it.
No, he didn't.
Not a second thought to any of those men that he killed.
And, a lot of them think they're never going to get in trouble, that they're above all of that. That is because their brain is out of whack. Absolutely, it has to be. If you think that you're going to get away with all that, there's just
the
no
delusions
way.
of grandeur.
There you go. Thank you. And that's another problem Lucretia 2 Chainz has.
Yeah.
Okay, her and Lori Vallow both. Oh, and Chad Daybell.
Oh
Because
yeah.
all of them, they all kind of have that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, Here, let's talk about Chad Daybell for a minute. Um, Okay, Chad Daybell and these letters he's writing. Okay, guys, they're horrible. And I don't think they should be published. But I want to tell you something, and you would not know this unless you've read some of these books. But these excerpts that he puts in these little letters, other than when he's talking about his family, comes from those books. And I know that because I've read some of them. And when he did that letter about talking about the working at the cemetery and this guy and these near death, all of that. It came from this book, and I know it did because I read the book and I was thinking to myself, what is he doing? Well, then it dawned on me. I know exactly what he's doing. There is no publishing company anymore, right? He has to have a way to make money. His kids can't afford to keep supporting him in jail. And his wife, well, Lori over there, who he doesn't even speak about, is not helping him apparently. So this is his new grift. I'm going to advertise by writing these letters to keep, maybe impress somebody that I'm not who they think I am, and so I can sell my books again. He's using it as an advertising tool because he can't go to a prepper's, the prepper's meetings to sell his books. He can't sell them through his bookstore. That's what I think it is. It's just another way it's his new way to advertise his books and get people to buy them. It's a
Mm-hmm.
sales tactic, the
Yeah.
biggest sales tactic ever.
Yeah. No, I
Mama
agree.
says it's a Mama says it's a lot to do with the way the body is. Sometimes we have more issues with chemicals and things being filtered out. I think sometimes our brains just can't handle it, some others, and it may be able to. You're right about that too. It could be that. I mean, there's so many different things that could cause people to have the overload, because basically all of a sudden it is the overload, and then they I mean, I guess that would be a snap. But what about people who don't snap? They just, I mean, is there any way that these people do this just because they want to, because they find it fun? I know that
Oh,
sounds
I'm
terrible,
sure.
but
Well, didn't
I
Richard
wonder.
Ramirez? He was one that enjoyed it.
You know what? I think Richard Ramirez is on here. Hang on a second. I think he's on this thing I'm doing. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to scroll down and see if he's there. Come over here. Okay, let's see. Do we know Jeffrey Dahmer? Here he is, Richard Ramirez. It's glad you talked about. Here's our friendly guy, Richard Ramirez. Let's talk about him. So he became the Night Stalker for his crime spree through California that resulted in the murders of at least 14 people from 1984 through 1985. Now that's more than one a month. He committed at least 30 violent crimes, including rape and torture. Or grape, I should have said grape, but I'm not monetized. It doesn't matter. Look, Magic Star says the power and control aspect for people who feel inadequate. Well, you're right about that too. Known for neglecting his personal hygiene, Ramirez had 9 decayed teeth and was missing several others, a distinct feature identified by multiple survivors that he attacks. He was convicted of 43 charges and later sentenced to death. Hey, big deal, death always comes with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland. That's what he says in the courtroom
Mm-hmm.
when he's leaving. He says that. He dies on death row on June 7th from complications of B-cell lymphoma. So he didn't even get the death. Well, he got it, but not that way. There's some people in here that I had never even heard of before. I was like, wow, I
And
never
the
heard of this
Menendez
one.
brothers. Now Ed Gein takes the spotlight in the
He was
Netflix.
a creepy, creepy guy.
Yeah, he was. I also have a big write up that I did, but I haven't had a chance to do it yet. But I'll get to it at some point. But right now, I'm just so excited. Yeah, Well, think about this. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you all why Lucretia did what she did. Latricia, or Lucretia, I call her Lucretia Two Chains, aka Shitslinger, Talentos. I mean, she's got a lot of names, but she was jealous of Gannon because she knew that her husband Al loved his son more than he would ever love her. And you know what? A man should love his son more than he loves.
Yes, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I agree. You take the floor, Sprinkled. Tell me about it. I'm gonna let you tell
About
us.
a man loving their child. Well,
Yes,
she's
yes.
she's just, but she always had to be the center of attention. That's why,
Mm-hmm.
with all of her lies and all the stories that she told throughout her life, she had to be the center of attention, and she was not the center of attention in that house. Those kids were, as they
She
should have
never
been,
would be.
as
Mm-hmm.
they should have been, and she could not handle that.
Um, there's a lot of okay. Talk about this for a second. We're kind of going all over the place, but it kind of all ties together when you stop and think about it. Okay, so we know by many studies that when you have step parents of children, um, and you have children with disabilities of some sort. I mean, look, Gannon had attention deficits, some other things. They are more than likely to be harmed or murdered by that step parent. When a child goes missing, it is 9 times out of 10 the parent in the household or the step parent. So, you wanted to say something, Sprinkle? I know you
No,
wanted to say something. Oh,
no.
okay, okay. When you, I mean, that people always say, well, why do you blame the parents? Why do you blame the parents? Because studies have told us 9 times out of 10 that is what happened. We know children do not just disappear into thin air. No, aliens did not come and pick them up. That's not what happened.
Mm-mm.
No. So who did it? That's what we're not going to know. Why are there so many unsolved cases like this? Let me tell you something. Jack and Lily, that's going to be a cold case. Summer Wells, that's a cold case. Sebastian Rogers, sadly, it's going to end up a cold case.
Michael Vaughn.
Michael Vaughn, even though they say they know where he's at, I don't understand it. Sprinkled, why?
Yeah. I mean, they were digging up those yards, and I mean, there was so much. It looked like they were so close, but yet nothing. Nothing.
And even though the people who said they had him have told them, why don't they arrest him anyway? Why don't they charge them anyway? They admitted they had the child.
Yeah, I don't
So
understand. They did charge him, and then they dropped all the charges.
I don't understand that.
They
Now
dropped
we,
the
of course,
charges against her, I believe, didn't they?
I think that's right.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't keep
think
up
they did
much with
drop
it.
the charges against her.
But what about him? You know?
It's been a while since I've looked into that because I just
Yeah.
heard something. Maybe it was because his name is Stacy. So I think
Right.
maybe that's the one that the charges were dropped. I'm gonna have to look back into that.
Yeah. Now I know that, of course, we always talk about Brandy the mother because God bless her soul, going through cancer treatments and she getting a transplant and all that.
Oh
But
my God,
we,
that poor woman.
yeah. Here's the thing: how do they benefit by keeping his location secret if they already admitted? That's what I don't understand, Magic Star. I wished I knew. It makes no sense. I'm gonna look up something right here and see if I can find some
Well,
answers.
and at this point too, even if they have his location, of course he's
Mm-hmm.
going to be nothing but skeletal remains.
Oh,
So,
it's so heartbreaking.
keeping the location a secret, if you're going to try to preserve any evidence, I can totally understand. But at this point, there's not going to be too much evidence that's going to be found with him. Unless, of
Okay,
course,
so
it's a gunshot or a stab wound or something to the effect where the bones were affected. There's not going to
right.
be much evidence left for him. So to keep it all secret and all of that, I just don't understand the reason.
I don't either. But here's the latest thing, and this is from. Let me put this over here. I'm gonna try to add it to the stage. I don't want to lose y'all. I'm finally learning, Mom, and I'm finally learning how to work my laptop over here and split the screen and share the screen on the same laptop. Anyway, this is from July 27th. It marks 4 years since the disappearance of Michael Monkey Bond from his Fruitland home. At the time of his disappearance, Michael was 3 feet 7 inches tall and weighed around 50 pounds. Since his disappearance, family and friends, along with the community, have continued to bring attention to him. Now, they're talking about his 7th birthday. So I don't understand. I don't understand why nobody is doing anything to help him. I
So he
mean,
would be 9 now. If that was
yeah,
2023, that was his 7th birthday. 25, it
right.
would make him 9 now.
So, I mean, there's a video that the Fruitland Police Department that put out that can be seen. They're interviewing Stacy Wanderer. According to the statement released by Chief Huff at that time, the video was inadvertently made public in 2023 following a public records request to the Washington County Sheriff's Office. Stacy Wanderer and his wife Sarah were considered suspect 2 years ago when the Fruitland police began digging in their backyard for Michael's remains. The
That was
leaked
2
video
years
shows
ago?
Stacy. Yeah,
Wow.
that was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Jeez.
It shows Stacy directing the police via FaceTime where he says Sarah buried the body. Of course he says that.
Of
At
course.
that time, yeah. Chief Huff released a statement that reads, We are in communication with a suspect in this case. Our hope is to gather more details that will lead us to Michael's remains. As previously stated, we ask for your continued patience. If you have any information that could help locate Michael, we urge you to come forward. Tips can be sent to find Michael at fruitland.org or Crime Stoppers, 343cops.com. Tips may remain anonymous. Please keep Michael in your prayers. Well, we've been praying. Yeah, we've been praying for 7 years. And you know all this, and yet here we are. Nothing.
Nothing. I know. Nothing.
It's so hard. It's so hard. I don't know. I just don't know. I just know that there's just a lot. I mean, yeah, it's so
Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something.
just like Jack and Lily. Somebody knows something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's all talk about that. What do y'all think happened to Jack and Lily? Tell me what you think.
I unfortunately don't know much about that case. I need to look into
Okay.
that. So I
Okay.
can't make a comment because I don't know enough about it.
Magic Star, tell me what you think about Jack and Lily. Give her a minute to type for a minute. She's gonna be, oh gosh, you put me on the spot like that. Here's something else. I've said this before, but nobody ever listens. Well, I don't know if they listen or not. I really would not know, but I've always said, anytime there is a child that's missing, if they would have went through, Magic Star says, I'm conflicted, but I mostly think they wandered off. Okay. Well, I mean, I can see that because I've been there too. I've thought that too. But remember when Daniel said, oh, she put him in the car with somebody because she was trying, remember, oh, she was going to leave me, oh, this, oh, that, I'll see her in jail, blah, blah. Remember all that? Oh, they're in the United States. I mean, why was he saying all that? Did he think that would help him get Meadow back? Because I'm thinking it was. She goes, I'm already typing. Okay, good. Thank you, Magic Star. But anyway, I was saying, anytime there's a child missing, you need to go check every suitcase at a person's house. They don't do that because if they checked the suitcases in Miss Lucretia's house, they would have found him right away. He wouldn't have been dumped over a bridge. But they never look. They just never look. They say, whenever it says, oh, the child ran away, they just think the child ran away and that's that. They don't look. It makes me sick. So Magic Star says, I still think neglect was involved either way. Oh, yeah, I do too. So many of a lot of these kids that, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but
See,
okay,
so that's what
this.
they're saying, that these kids wandered off, both of them?
Yeah, together in the woods. They live in Canada, and it's like 2 point something acres, but it's in a horrible, it's a lot of underbrush. There was a big hurricane that went through there and tore a lot of things up a few years ago, and it was never really cleaned up, right? So they think the kids could have just wandered away. Well,
what's the likelihood of two kids wandering? Because there's always the one kid that's like, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. And the other kid's like, I'm going to do it anyway. So the one kid,
6 and 4.
The other kid stays back. So that I find is kind of suspicious without knowing anything about the case, that they both would wander off.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm going to look up what's the likelihood. We'll see right now. What's the likelihood of two kids wandering off? The likelihood of two kids wandering is significant, especially in children with autism spectrum, or wandering can occur in various settings, including homeschool. Okay. Well, I'm not asking about autism. I'm saying, what's the likelihood?
Yeah, autistic children, they're runners. That goes without saying. Yeah. You leave the door open, and an autistic child will be outside before you can even blink your eyes.
Let's look at this.
And how old were these kids? How old are Jack?
They're 4 years old and 6 years old.
See this. Yeah, that's. I could say if they were both babies, maybe them wandering off. 3-year-old, 2-year-old. But if you have a 6-year-old there, I don't know. That doesn't strike me as probable.
I think that the 6-year-old was taking care of the 4-year-old all the time, because even the stepfather said she never took care of those kids. That the new baby that was 18 months old was her golden child. She just never took care of them anymore. He had to take care of them. So there was a lot of neglect about those kids, which is sad, just sad. Yeah,
that's heartbreaking.
I mean, they went to school in dirty clothes. They went to school with bruises, black eyes. Their lips were so cracked. Just total neglect. Oh my God, it makes me sick.
And why were they still in the home?
Because the CPS had only been out there, I think, once to investigate something that the school reported CPS because they would come to school dirty and bruises. And so they
Uh-huh.
went out there the one time. So there was something pending at that time, I'm not, but they don't talk much about this CPS thing. I'm pulling them up right now, see if I can find something over here about this. Okay, disappearance. We're going to go with Wikipedia because that's safe. It doesn't belong to anybody. I'm not going to get a strike for it. So let me add this up here and we'll talk about it for a second. So let's see. They disappeared from their rural home in Garlick's Road in Lansdowne Station, Pictou County, May the 2nd. Okay. A large-scale search was undertaken in the days immediately following their disappearance, which was mostly scaled back on May the 7th after no trace of the child was found. So there was like there would have been no cameras and all that because they lived out in the woods. I mean, literally the woods. So they investigated into the disappearances, and they've had 54 individuals where they've administered, polygraph testing. They've stated that there's no evidence that those children were abducted, but they have not ruled out that the disappearance is suspicious. Magic Star says, I think they said Lily hit Jack to explain the way the bruises. My memory is foggy on that. I think something like that too. Something about some truck. But here's the thing: I did a little live about this one day, and every picture that they had put out with these kids, I pointed out every bruise, every dark circle, every scratch,
How
their lips.
how how
Horrible.
how much I'm sorry I interrupted you. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. Go ahead.
How a 6-year-old, how hard could she hit a 3-year-old to cause bruises? She would have to hit
Yeah.
him really hard for
Right.
her to be the one that caused those bruises.
I just don't think she did it. I think
Yeah,
that there was a lot
that
of anger.
yeah.
Hmm.
Because the child, I mean, it's very difficult. I mean, if a child bites another child, yes, you're going to have a bruise.
Right.
But if a child
No.
hits another child, the likelihood of having a bruise, I think, depending if they throw a truck at them, a metal truck or
Right.
something like that, yeah, the circumstances are there. But just if a 6-year-old is just going to go up and wallop on a 3-year-old, I just can't see that there'd be bruising.
Yeah, me neither. But Magic says also that rugs are almost certainly involved. There is a lot of talk about rugs over in that house too. There's a lot of talk. Okay, so there's something in Canada now. If I'm wrong, I might not be able to explain this completely, but in Canada, there's something about where they get monthly stipends for having these children, and so on the first part of the month, they would get this check from Canada, from their government, for the kids, and so there was some pressure over there because at some point they were claiming all the kids, but they only had 3 of the kids in their house because the man, Daniel, I hope I explained this right. Daniel had 2 kids with somebody else, but they did not live with him. But when they did the reporting for their monthly stipend for these children, they were claiming all 5 children. Well, they kind of got caught and got in trouble, so their check was kind of taken back. And so they had a little problems with money. They seem to always have problems with money. So we know that money is a big, big, huge reason why some kids disappear because they become desperate. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened here because I don't really know, and I don't want to blame somebody if I don't really have any facts to blame anybody. But again, kids don't just disappear.
They don't.
Now, they did a big search over there, and they've searched there's a lot of caves and stuff like that in Canada. But there was a whole lot of underbrush and the neighbor said something about they had heard some kind of loud car that went back and forth 5 times during the middle of the night, when the morning right before they got reported missing. But of course, Daniel says that's not true. There's just a whole lot to this story that doesn't make any sense. And then
Well,
you've
and
got the
little legs
father.
can only take you so far, and kids
That's
are going
right.
to tire out. They're not going to be able to walk for miles and miles and miles and miles. They're going to
Hell
lay
no.
down and go to sleep. They're tired. It's going to wear them out.
And it was cold. Okay, number one, it was cold, and they did not have jackets on.
Yeah, they're not going to go
Yeah.
far on their own free will. They're not.
Mm-mm. And the grandmother even said, "Oh well, we'd only walk a few steps, and then I'd have to pick Jack up because he didn't want to walk. He didn't want to walk in the woods like that. It was too much for him. Well, then he's not going to follow his sister into the woods like that, is
No,
he?
then he's not going to. Then he's not going to run in there on his own accord either.
No, he's not. So I mean, then of course Daniel gets over here. He's like Crispy Critter. Now, when I say Crispy Critter, do you know who I'm talking about, Sprinkle?
I don't.
Okay, well I'll tell you later. But
Okay.
he's like Crispy Critter, and because I don't want to get any problems. But Crispy Critter would come on all these YouTubes and talk about all these different things, and it kind of got to be where it was kind of a joke, and just just really make an ass out of himself. Well, now we have this Daniel Martell over there going on all of these YouTube channels saying all these different things. But the sad part is he has told 4 different or 5 different stories because he gets on these channels and he tells different stories. Well, we've got these channels over here comparing these stories now with each other, going, wait a minute, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. And so it's a big old mess, just like Sebastian's case. Almost just like it, really.
Yeah, the truth doesn't change. The truth doesn't change.
You're right. You're right. So I don't.
You can tell the truth 16 times and you're going to tell the same story. You tell a lie 16 times and you're going to have a different story every time.
Here's another thing though. Like when this first happened, the mother, the stepfather, and the grandmother who lives on the same property all told basically the same story, just like Maddie Soto. Jen and Stephen the pigs told the same story. Tell me why.
Because it was a story, not the truth. Because it was all rehearsed.
They had time to rehearse the story. Exactly. That has always bothered me because. Look at Lori Vallow. Let's talk about Lori. Okay, I know we're kind of all over the place, but it kind of goes together when you stop and think about it. Lori Vallow. She was actually arrested because she could not produce the children. Well, I don't understand why are these other people not arrested when they can't produce the children. Okay, They said they ran away. Well, obviously they didn't. They're not on any camera anywhere. How did they run away?
Exactly.
Then I always wonder, well, why doesn't one parent just go through the other two so they can, for where's my child? Why don't we file some kind of a lawsuit? Why don't they do that? Do something to make them produce the information. Why aren't they doing that? I don't know.
Yeah, so they can prove they weren't neglected. There's a lot of things they could do.
Right. I mean, the father of Jack and Lily, their real father, walked out of their life and she got full custody of him because he didn't want to fight with her, right? Well, he is still, but he's still their father, even though he gave his rights up. At this point, why doesn't he go to the courts and say, listen, I want to file against her because where is my children? Where are my children?
Wrongful death or whatever.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. I mean, that's another thing that happens. Okay, CPS gets involved, and then the child's taken away from one parent and given to another parent. Well, then when this other parent actually takes the life or causes the life of the child, then the parent goes back and sues CPS for wrongful death, blaming CPS giving the child to the other parent. Okay, that's wrong too.
Yeah, it is.
It's all messed up. Oh,
But like in certain, this that makes me think when you said that to Gabriel Fernandez. Was it Fernandez or Hernandez? Where he was with the uncle and then they gave him back to the mom. No, I could see them suing CPS for that because they were in the care of the uncle and the uncle, he was in care of the uncle and he was being cared for very well and CPS returned him to her.
Yeah.
And she
look at Harmony.
Yeah.
Look at little Harmony Montgomery, same thing.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing. She files the wrongful death suit against CPS, but she begged the judge to let him take that child. So she did in the foster system.
Yeah. That's kind of an oxymoron.
And that is horrible because the people who adopted the other 2 children, the boys, they were trying to adopt her too.
Yeah.
I don't know why they wouldn't let that happen. That was the best place for those children. Look at that situation.
Yeah, Gabriel Fernandez. That documentary, I could not get through it. It just overwhelmed me so much that I could not watch the whole thing. It was just too hard for me. I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
A lot of these cases, I'm glad my husband's not home when I'm watching because I just start crying. I have a real soft heart for these babies.
That was just one I could not make it through. It just, I think because I'm a mom of boys, I think that might have something to do with it, but I couldn't do it. That was just
I only had boys too. Look, Magic Star says, Magic Star's going, Gabriel Fernandez's story was so sad there was issues with the uncle being gay. I'm sorry, and that, I don't, y'all know how I feel about that. I don't care who you love, that's your business. And then she goes, I just sobbed. It just sticks with me because the tragic case, it just highlighted severe child abuse, systematic failures, just all of that just led up to his death because of the mother and her boyfriend. Again, a boyfriend. So
Mm-hmm.
he was, listen, he was born February the 20th in 2005 in California. He just faced a tumultuous childhood, having been placed in the care of various relatives due to his mother's history of neglect and abuse. In 2012, despite concerns from the family members, Gabriel was returned to his mother, Pearl Fernandez, and her boyfriend, Isario Aguirre. The decision was reportedly influenced by Pearl's desire to collect welfare benefits. There's always the money, right? It's
Right?
always the money, which is so sad. Makes me sick.
That boy was there. There was such failure on the part to protect him.
Yeah, there certainly was.
He would be 20
Look,
years old. 20,
look
well,
how
almost
many of
21.
them.
Almost 21.
Mhm.
Wow.
Look at little Harmony Montgomery. Now that bastard, and I'm going to say he is a bastard. He is in prison. He still will not tell them where her little
I
body
know.
is.
I know.
Why?
You think they would negotiate something where they would have to tell.
Right,
I mean, I know you can't force somebody to do something, but in
right.
cases like that, do something, you know. Didn't he
You
got
think
the
they would
death
learn?
penalty? Didn't he get the death penalty?
Let's see. Let me go back over here. Let me look at something right here. It says after his death, Okay, now here. After his death, DCFS aims to be better protect the children. Oh, really? How many more have to go before they're actually protected? Look
Right?
at okay, here we go. Look at little Haro, the little Haro boy, Emmanuel Haro. Look at his case. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's a
ugh,
failure. That's a failure.
complete failure. There's no way that other baby got all of those injuries because he dropped her trying to bathe her. As my
No,
husband
no,
said, and he
mm,
never says anything, but he said, number
mm-mm.
one, the man should have never been left at home with that baby, and he should not have been bathing that little girl. That baby was too young for him to be handling her, period. It's a little baby girl that should have been with her mother. Why was the
Hmm.
mother out of the house? And I said, well, maybe she went to get something.
Well, the mother
She should
was
have
a
taken the
drug
baby
addict
with
too.
her.
If
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
mistaken, wasn't she? Didn't she have addiction
I
issues?
believe she does have some sort of a problem. Now
Yeah,
I'm
I
not sure
thought.
what it exactly is, but
Yeah,
because all the facts they're not coming out yet, but I think that everybody thinks they're going to plead or whatever. There is a plea. It is a hearing they're going to have, but that does not mean they're actually going to get a plea deal. Okay, everybody thinks that's what they're going to get, but that
see,
that is not exactly how it works.
I'm a firm believer
So
that if you kill a child, you should get the death penalty. Period.
me
No
too.
ifs, ands, or buts about it. However, if you
Here,
will tell where the child is, if it's a situation where they can't find the child, okay, plead them down to
uh-huh.
life without parole, so you can
Right,
find the
right.
child.
I agree.
But
I
I
absolutely
think
do.
I think anybody who kills a child, it should be automatic across the United
Look at
States.
her.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
She knows where that baby is.
For
She
sure she
absolutely
does.
does.
They should.
Oh,
They
and
both do.
this Ola, somebody hit me. Well, number one, they had the foot. She thought there was no footage out there, but there absolutely was some footage that
Yeah,
caught her
because
just falling in the
they had
parking lot.
gone
And
there
nobody else was there.
previously. They had gone previously to ask if there was any cameras in the parking lot. They knew.
Look at his sweet little face. It's so
Bless
sad.
his little
Then did
heart.
you hear the story about she was seen pushing around a stroller on some construction site?
Yes,
What
I
were they
did see
trying to
that.
do? Figure? Oh my. Mm-hmm. It's horrible, horrible,
And
horrible.
nobody
This
saw that
this is
baby at
another
the
case.
game. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh
there were
God,
so many
it's
holes in
another
that.
case that shouldn't have happened.
No.
Well,
Well,
all right, guys.
he would have never been here had he been in
That's
jail.
right.
He would have never
Hmm.
been born.
But she has a 2-year-old little girl from this guy too. They had two of them, and that
Yes.
of course
Yeah.
that child's of course over at CPS. And God loved the family who took the child that he destroyed. And I know that's part of it's part
Wasn't
of
it
one of his.
isn't it a cousin or something? It's a family member, right?
Right. It is a family member, and God bless them. I'm
Yes.
telling you, because they took on a lifetime of
Ah,
never-ending care, and people like that deserve to be in the highest level of heaven. I'm telling you, God
absolutely.
bless them. I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't know how they do it. I hope they get the other little girl too, if they can, if they have an opportunity to take her on, because it is hard. Let me remove this. So there we go. But anyway, okay, so we've been on for like an hour and 34 minutes. I like to do maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't like to go any longer than that because people have things to do. And there's so many other things. I know y'all want to go listen to your other friends too. Now, a lot of times I know people, and when I first started out, Sprinkle, I was just going to do like a podcast thing so people could listen when they're driving or whatever instead of sitting down and watching. But then I decided, well, I can't do that because I can't talk to my friends when they come in if I'm
Right?
not in
Yeah.
chat with them. so,
Yeah, I
so
wasn't able to see chat. I tried to get it on my TV and it wouldn't show me the chat. I don't know.
I'll have to show you how to do it all. I'll get you straightened out. It's okay.
Yeah,
We'll
you'll
show you
show me
how
how
to
to
do
figure it
everything.
out.
But I'm so excited to have you coming on. So if in case
Yeah,
y'all
thank
missed
you.
it, uh, Sprinkle Donut and I are starting a new show, and it is called the Lil Red. I'm sorry, it's called the Lil Red and Sprinkled Experience, and it's a live show where people can call in and ask questions, and we'll all discuss it. That way, we can all talk to everybody at the same time. It'll be just a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. The holdup is I've got some things going. I just need to get some animation done because I'm going to make like a real production where we actually have a song and we actually have some animation and we have a real show. Even though I like freestyling, but I also I want to make this. And we're going to start doing it on Saturday nights, probably I think 8 o'clock my time. Is that right, Sprinkled, or
Yeah,
we decide
whatever works
6?
for you is
Yeah,
fine. Yeah,
yeah,
that would be
something like
6 my
on
time.
Saturday night.
Or maybe
Yeah.
6:30, maybe 8:30
Okay.
cuz I get off at 5:30 on Saturdays.
Okay. Well, I
So,
want you to have time to settle down, maybe get a bite to eat, that kind of stuff before
yeah,
we
if you give
go
me an
live.
hour, that
So,
should be plenty. That should be plenty.
okay, good, good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the name of Little Red Zero Speaks to the Little Red and Sprinkled Experience. That's gonna be the new channel, and that's what we're gonna do on that channel. And I'm so excited. And as we have more details, we'll put them out for everybody. And I'm really hoping that everybody who, I'm not monetized, and I don't really care if I ever get monetized or not. But anyway, I just hope I can get to everybody who subbed up to Little Red at Zero Speaks. Little Red Zero. Take them over and sub up to this one. So anyway, I'm so happy you came up, Sprinkle. It was
Yeah,
so good to
I
talk
am
to you
too. It
today.
wasn't nearly as scary as I thought it would be.
Aw. And if you want me to make you an avatar, I can do that too. It's no problem.
Okay, yeah.
I made Magic Star's avatar. She's so pretty. Anyway, anyway, I'll let y'all go. Have a good evening.
All
And
right,
tomorrow
everybody.
I'm going to film my son picking up his new baby dog tomorrow, and I'll be putting that out too. So anyway, night night. Take
All right.
care. I always say, be careful out there, be safe, and hug your babies. Night, guys.
Oh.